Hello everyone, and welcome to another brand new video. Now, I thought I should make at least one video about my hopes for the upcoming new Pokemon anime series, which is now currently just being called Pokemon 2023. Specifically, I'm referring to the new series with Liko and Roy, not the one with Ash, not aimed to be a Pokemon master. I'm specifically talking about the brand new series airing in April. And I just want to make one video about this. I don't want to make several constant videos about what I hope for this series because we have so little information right now, and who knows what they could end up doing with this series. We've seen so many shake-ups with this series in recent years, which I mentioned in my last video talking about the future of the anime. And since everything is so up in the air now, the show is so unpredictable these days, I don't feel the need to make numerous constant videos about what I hope happens here and there and all over the place. So I'm just going to make this one video. This will be the only video I make until they actually start releasing actual information, and from then on I'll probably just make news coverage videos. Maybe every so often in the news coverage videos I'll mention my hopes here and there, but for right now this is probably going to be pretty much the only video where I mention my hopes for the upcoming series. So let's not waste any time and let's just get right into this video. So let's get something straight right off the bat, something I want you guys to ensure that you guys know. This is not a Scarlet and Violet series. This series is not called Pokemon Scarlet and Violet or anything like that. I want that to be made clear because I see a lot of confusion and misinformation going around calling this the Scarlet and Violet anime, which I'm not surprised. From the day Journeys began to the day it ended, everyone was calling it Pokemon Sword and Shield or the Sword and Shield anime, even though the staff made it very, very clear that this was not a Sword and Shield anime. I thought that by watching it, most people would get the hint, considering the series barely even acknowledged Galar or anything from Sword and Shield, yet you still had people calling it a Sword and Shield anime. And the same is happening right now. Everyone's calling this new series the Scarlet and Violet anime, even though it's not. They're just calling it Pokemon 2023, so I just want that to be clear. I don't want any misinformation going around. So yes, the series, I'm just going to be calling it for now Pokemon 2023. It probably is going to be like Journeys, which will get a new title. In Japan, Journeys was just called Pokemon 2019 because it started in 2019. And right now, this one is being called Pokemon 2023 since it's going to be starting in 2023. But I just wanted to get that out of the way because I want to let you guys know that even though this is not going to be a Scarlet and Violet series, I do still have some big hopes that they will at least acknowledge different elements from Scarlet and Violet. They've already pretty much confirmed that there's going to be region hopping to an extent, just like Journeys had. They already announced that the series was going to be taking place across the entire Pokemon world, not just Paldea, not just one region. It's probably going to be incorporating all regions just like Journeys. We don't know to what extent yet. We don't know if Journeys will be, if Pokemon 2023 will completely pretty much ignore Paldea like they pretty much ignored Galar, or even Sun and Moon ignored a lot of Alola. We don't know what the extent of the region hopping is going to be. All we know is that it's going to be there to some extent. However, one of my biggest hopes for this series is that they will still find some way to incorporate different elements from Scarlet and Violet. And my biggest hope for this is that I really hope that Liko and Roy will have a goal similar to, if not exactly, the treasure hunt. Basically, I think this is also just an easy goal to have. Basically, I hope that their goal is that they want to find their own personal treasure, and that leads to them traveling the world to do lots of different things. Whatever they end up doing, will be dependent on what the writers decide they want them to do, but this will allow them to be able to follow the main story of Scarlet and Violet, but also include their little region hopping format. They can easily just expand upon it and make it that the treasure hunt goals can apply to everything they do across all regions, not just Paldea or wherever they end up being. And I also like this goal because it's not as vague as Ash's Pokemon Master goal, where to this day we don't even know what a Pokemon Master is. Maybe they'll tell us finally at the end of Aim to be a Pokemon Master once it ends toward April, but as of right now we still don't even know what that is. And even if we do find out, it's still a very vague goal. Up until now we had no clue what it was. We've gone 25 years not knowing what a Pokemon Master is, and I just don't think that is a very good goal. I think and I hope that Liko and Roy's goals, whatever they are, will be tangible, something that we can see a clear ending with, because it will also allow them to leave easier. It won't just have them be like Ash where they can just stick around forever because their goal is so vague. I really want them to have a tangible goal. And so like I said, I hope that their goal will be the treasure hunt from Scarlet and Violet. And specifically, like I said, I hope they can expand it across all regions. And let me explain what I mean by that. So I think Victory Road is pretty much the easiest path. All they really need to do is incorporate the gym challenge and other similar tasks from all the other regions. So maybe let's say hypothetically, Liko and Roy, we start the series off and they say, oh, I have this goal, I want to find my personal treasure, and somehow they end up getting introduced to the gym challenge. And they can be introduced to them from all regions. They can be told from someone, hey, there are Pokemon gyms in all these different regions, and they all have different types and leaders and specialties and etc., and themes. And so they can decide, oh, that sounds fun. I want to travel the world and battle as many gym leaders as I can. And not even just gym leaders. It can also be things like contests, showcases if they bring them back for Kalos, Pokeathlon for Johto, musicals, anything, honestly. Anything that we've seen in not only the games, but in the anime, different side quests like that. And before anyone says anything, obviously, I'm not expecting to see every single solitary gym leader that's ever existed be battled by Liko and Roy. Obviously, I don't even want to see that, because obviously we've seen most of the gym leaders get enough attention in past years as they battled Ash. However, I do think it would be nice to see some gym leaders who didn't get as much attention be revisited, like Watson. Ash literally swept Watson because Pikachu was overcharged, and he just got the gym badge. He didn't even ask for a rematch, a fair battle. No, he just beat him just like that and kept the badge, and that was pretty much all we saw of Watson. So I wouldn't mind seeing Watson be revisited in a serious battle. A lot of the early gym leaders, the Kanto gym leaders, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if anything, I wouldn't mind seeing the Kanto gym leaders revisited, because many of Ash's Kanto gym badges were given to him just with no battles. Erika's gym was on fire and he saved her gloom, so he got a badge. A lot of his early gym badges were just not obtained through normal battle methods, so I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind seeing them revisited. But more than anything else, I think it should be clear that I really hope that the Galar gym leaders will get some focus. I really, really hope either Liko or Roy or both of them or whatever end up challenging the Galar gym leaders, because they were just ignored so hard in Journeys. I know that we didn't get a Sword and Shield series, but I don't see why Ash couldn't have challenged the Galar gym leaders in Journeys for his goal, or even just a side quest. I don't even care at this point. They could have just had him face the gym leaders. I really, to this day, still feel like they could have easily done that and still had Ash do his whatever little tournament with Leon. But since they didn't do it with Ash, I'm really, really praying that they do it with either Liko or Roy, one of them, both of them. I don't really care. And I don't care really how they challenge the gyms. I don't care if maybe they separate it by region, like maybe Liko will battle Hoenn gyms and Roy will battle Unova gyms. I don't really care. They can intertwine the gyms. It doesn't matter to me. All I really want is to see the Galar gyms faced. And I just want to see that, because they were just so neglected in Journeys. And also, again, like I said, I want to see this happen because it gives them reason to go to these regions. Showcases, bring them back. We can have Liko do showcases in Kalos, and maybe they can expand showcases to boys, and Roy can do them too. I don't really care. They can do contests in Hoenn and Sinnoh. Anything to give them reason to go to these places. My only real hope with this is that the Paldean gyms will be split between both of them. Like I said, I kind of hope that they can go to all the different regions. Maybe they can do them separately, those gyms and challenges that they want. But everything related to Paldea, I really hope will be done by both Liko and Roy. And I'll talk more about that later. Next, let's go on to Starfall Street's path, because it's also pretty simple. Again, we've had antagonistic teams in every single region. And again, there can just be some random character who meets Liko and Roy and says, hey, do you know that there are these antagonistic groups across all these regions, and they're all having these evil plans? They're all not all evil, but they have all these kind of dangerous plans that not everyone is here for, and you guys should stop them. Who knows? Whatever the plot will be. I don't know how they'll end up deciding it, but again, my just hope is that Liko and Roy will find out about these antagonistic teams all across the regions, and they can make it part of their mission to just want to stop them, want to stop who they think are evildoers. And so again, they can divide them across the regions. I don't care if they have Roy going after Team Rocket and Liko going after Team Plasma. It doesn't really matter to me. Again, all I hope is that they will both go to Paldea and face Team Star to some extent. And I really do hope with this, if they do this, that we can see more teams that didn't or couldn't get as much focus back in the original show with Ash. Like Team Yell, who again, I don't think they were acknowledged at all in Journeys. Journeys just really ignored so much of Galar and Sword and Shield's story. And I don't think Team Yell ever showed up. So I'd really like to see them. incorporated, but also like the original Team Plasma. We didn't get to see them because of the whole earthquake issue, so if they can bring back and show off the original Team Plasma, I'm not even the biggest fan of the original Team Plasma, but if they can show them off, I don't mind that at all. Let us see these things we didn't get to see before. I think that would be great. Again, it gives the characters reasons to go to all these different regions, and it gives them so much more to do. There will be so much battling they can do, and having so many Pokemon battling and getting stronger by doing all these different tasks. And the last part of the treasure hunt, of course, is Path of Legends. And this one is probably, I guess, the, quote, hardest to do, since Titans only really exist in Paldea, but they can easily just make some anime-exclusive giant Pokemon and say they're guarding something other than Urban Mystica, and I think that'll work fine. I think they can easily also put the Island Challenge here and use Totems here for Alola, since, first of all, I'm pretty sure Totems and Titans are meant to be the exact same thing. Their Japanese name is exactly the same, and I think most languages, Titans and Totems have the exact same name. I'm not sure why the English version changed the name, but whatever. I assume Totems and Titans are meant to be the same, so they can easily just have Alola's Totems work here. And even if, I mean, they can also use Dynamax Pokemon from Galar, you know, any kind of giant Pokemon they can put in this challenge. Again, it doesn't really matter what they do. I just hope that they'll have some third task where they end up taking on these giant Pokemon. Also, hopefully the Totems from Alola, since again, they really skipped over the Island Challenge in Sun and Moon series. So I think that will work well too, and again, like I keep saying, if they go to Paldea, I just hope that they will also both help Arvin with his actual Path of Legends with the Urban Mystica. So yeah, that is pretty much my biggest hope for this series, that they will be able to incorporate the treasure hunt in this way, or something at least pretty similar to this, because, like I said, this gives Liko and Roy reason to be going to the past regions, and they're not just region hopping for no reason. They can have something to constantly do whenever they go somewhere. They can be in Sinnoh one day and take on a gym, and then they can be in Hoenn the next day and do a contest. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter to me as long as they're constantly doing something. And like I said, I don't expect every single solitary boss to be faced. I don't expect them to face every single antagonistic team leader or every single gym leader, do every single contest. I'm not expecting that, but I do hope they can get a big chunk of that done. Now, for the next big hope I have for the series, I know this has a very, very, very small chance of happening, but I hope that Liko and Roy will not be travel companions. Yes, I hope that they've already been confirmed to be the main characters, but I hope that they will not be traveling together. I would love it if they started out in the same location, like, I don't know, maybe a school of sorts. But if after that, they split off into their own adventures. And don't get me wrong, they can of course meet up every so often, but I really, really hope that they will not travel together. One of the big reasons for this is obviously to reference Scarlet and Violet. In that game, the entire academy gets the treasure hunt assignment, but it is an independent study, and even though the characters meet up every so often, the primary journey is done alone. So this would allow us to be able to see more of the adventures of Liko and Roy and see more of the different regions, but in different ways. Just like how Scarlet and Violet's story is open and it can be done in any order, even though the tasks are still the same for each player, the journey will be different. So this would allow both Liko and Roy to take on all of the 3 stories that I just mentioned from the treasure hunt, but in different ways, and the show can incorporate all of them differently. For example, let's say Liko is in Sinnoh and she's battling Rourke, and in another episode, in the next episode, Roy is in Kalos, and he's battling Olympia or whoever. And then in the next episode, or another episode, they can both be in Paldea, but one is battling Brassius, while the other is battling a different gym leader on the other side of the map. Or they're doing a different story. They could be battling a Titan, or battling a Team Star base. It doesn't really matter. This could apply to any of the 3 stories, or any other major events. But again, I think this would be a perfect way for them to do the region hopping they want to do, show off all the regions, ease up on fillers, and acknowledge Scarlet and Violet's story. And like I said, they can definitely show off a lot of the stuff that was ignored in the past 2 generations by having them take on the island trials, the gym leaders from Galar, and other things that we just didn't get to see that much happen in the previous series. Again, I don't expect it to happen, but I hope it does. And I know people are gonna really have an issue with them not traveling together, because I think we're just used to the whole idea of traveling companions in the series. We've never not had Ash with a group of buddies hanging off his shoulders. Even in Alola, when Ash wasn't traveling, he had a classmate full of people just with him. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like this whole traveling companion thing is really outdated and unnecessary by now. I could see it in the early days when there weren't too many characters to work with. But even then, no, because they could have just made up their own anime exclusive characters instead of just grabbing gym leaders here and there every time Ash goes somewhere else. We gotta grab gym leaders and new characters and make them part of Ash's posse. I mean, I love Clement and Bonnie with all my heart, but they did not need to be Ash's travel companions. They could have had Serena and a customized version of Callum if they really wanted to. I don't know, I just never liked them taking gym leaders and other major characters from their roles and making them Ash's travel buddies. I really don't like that at all. So that's why I hope Liko and Roy will not be travel companions. I already like the fact that they're their own original characters. They didn't just grab gym leaders, they just made their own unique characters. And I'm pretty, like I said before, I'm pretty sure they're meant to be based off of Juliana and Florian because they do look similar to them to me, especially their eyes, and Liko's hair looks familiar, like a hairstyle in Scarlet and Violet to me. But again, like I said, I don't think we need travel companions anymore. I'm glad that they have new original characters. It doesn't seem like there's going to be anyone else because they only mentioned Liko and Roy being the protagonists. So I really hope there aren't any, extra travel companions or just people hanging off their shoulders. I would like to see for once individual journeys with different characters being pretty much on their own. And also, the anime is known for having characters of the day pop up almost all the time just to ask for random help with random stuff. I really don't think it would be too hard to just have Liko and Roy on their own and just have them meet with characters of the day if they need to have someone else to talk to. But honestly, I think they're fine on their own. If they need to talk to each other, they can call on the Rotom phone or something. And again, like I said, they can meet up every so often. I just hope that their primary adventure will be by themselves. And like I said, with Paldea in particular, I really hope that they will just each tackle, I guess, one side of the region. The region is kind of like a big circle divided in half. And it's easy. You can just have Rico go to the east side, Roy go to the west side, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter, but they can go on either side, and they can each have 4 gym leaders they take on. Of course, the Titans and the Team Star bases are uneven in that there's only 5 of each. There's not an even 6 or 4. So one of them, I guess, will have to take on 3 while one does 2, or maybe they'll both do 1 together. I don't really know. But either way, I just kind of hope that at the very least that Paldea's aspects are divided in half between the 2 of them, because I want to see them as new characters do all the different things in Paldea together. And they can just wrap everything up toward the end. So next, one of my hopes is that, and we're getting towards the end of them, guys. I only have 2 more. One of my more minor hopes, along with what I just said, since I'm saying I hope they don't travel together and they're not together for the most part of the series, I really do hope that they don't have a base area like Kukui's house in Sun and Moon or the lab that Ash was at in Journeys would go. I don't want there to be like a set base where everyone is just sitting at most of the time and they only leave when the plot demands it. I really hope that they are constantly traveling. I hope that they're just constantly moving, very similar to past series. But if there must be a set base that we're sitting in all day and then we only region hop when the plot demands it, please do not let it be in Kanto. Put it in Paldea, put it in Galar, put it anywhere else. Paldea makes the most logical sense, but if it has to be anywhere else, I'd rather it be Galar since we barely saw it in Journeys. But please, not Kanto. If anything, I really hope we don't see that much Kanto at all. I know I mentioned seeing the Kanto gym leaders get some decent battles, but that's about it. That is the extent of me wanting to see Kanto in this series. It should be given the least amount of time in this series. Most anime series will last like 100 or so episodes. Kanto should be taking up the least amount of that time. We should only be seeing Kanto for gym battles, if anything, or maybe anything to do with Giovanni and Team Rocket. But otherwise, I want the most of the screen time in this series to go to Paldea, Galar, and Alola. The other regions really already had their time to shine. Kanto and Sinnoh were both really super long series. They really can take a back seat. We saw them for so long. And I really just hope that the regions that didn't get that much attention will get more. We definitely don't need to see Kanto. We had Kanto in the original series. We had it in Hoenn, in the Hoenn saga. They went to Kanto from the Battle Frontier for some reason. And then in Journeys, of course, most of their time was in Kanto. Please give Kanto a back seat for once. Give some attention to Galar, to Alola, to Paldea, to Unova, anywhere else. Knowing this franchise, I'm sure this won't happen. I'm sure they're going to spend a huge chunk of time in Kanto, but my gosh, I really hope that they don't give it too much. Please give the other regions some love. And my last hope, I guess you can say, this is probably my most minor hope is that I really hope that Liko and Roy's teams will be way better than Ash's Galar team. Even though we're going to be region hopping, and I know this isn't a Scarlet and Violet series, I really still hope they give them some Paldean Pokemon, give them the new Pokemon, and prioritize them for their teams. At least half of their team, like 3 out of 6, being Paldean Pokemon would be good for me. We already know Liko is getting Sprigatito, and I'm assuming that Roy is getting Fuecoco. I'm still not too sure about Quaxley yet. It is closer to Roy on the poster, but color-wise, it matches Liko's color scheme, so I'm not too sure. But obviously, I'm sure at least one of them is getting it. But either way, we know that they're going to have the starters at least. But I hope they'll have other Paldean Pokemon on their team. Like I said, at least 3 out of 6 would be great. I mean, obviously, I hope all 6 of them would be. But if anything, give them at least half of their team as Paldean Pokemon. Please no Kanto Pokemon. Unless they are Kanto Pokemon with new evolutions like Primeape. I don't want to see any Kanto Pokemon on their team. Please, no more. They already filled up half of Ash's Journey's team with Kanto Pokemon, including Pikachu. Please, no more Kanto Pokemon. I would rather them have some Galarmons on their team, since Journey's neglected so many Galar Pokemon. They could make up for that and give them some Galar Pokemon. Alolan Pokemon. Anything but some Kanto Pokemon. Please don't put Kanto Pokemon on their team. I wouldn't mind them giving some Pokemon. Any region, honestly, is fine. Pokemon that we haven't seen that much in the spotlight. If I can praise Journeys for one thing, I like that they had Go catch Pokemon that we didn't get to see in the spotlight that much, like his Dugong. I think we saw his Dugong a lot. But, based on his profile on Bulbapedia, I didn't, like I said, watch Journeys. But please just don't give them any Kanto Pokemon. Unless they evolve, like I said, like Primeape has a new evolution. I just don't want to see any, or a regional form like Tauros. I really don't want to see them have any older Pokemon. Give them some Paldean Pokemon, give them some Galar Pokemon, maybe throw in a Alola Pokemon on their team. Even if they rotate their Pokemon, I just still hope that they're mostly non-Kanto. I really want to see as little Kanto as possible in this series. Again, we don't know the extent of the region hopping and traveling in this series, but I'm assuming at the very least it'll be very similar to Journeys. But I hope it'll be done better. So that's about it for this video. I know it was very long and rambly. I just had a lot to say. That's why I wanted to just make one video for this, guys. I didn't want to make several different videos about this topic, so I just made this one right here. So yeah, this is pretty much going to be the only video that I'm going to be doing for this. I already said that. I don't really feel the need to make multiple videos about this. I just decided to put all of my thoughts in this one, so I hope you guys really liked it. Please leave me in the comments below your hopes for Pokemon 2023. Let me know what you guys hope for Liko and Roy. And yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm really excited to get more information on the series. I will, of course, be updating you whenever some new information drops. So I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope you will enjoy your day. Thank you!